What's good, and welcome back to Investing with Jack. So I have some pretty exciting news for all of us holding high tide stock. If you haven't seen it already, yesterday they released their 2020 financial results and they absolutely knocked it out of the park. They are setting records, they are continuing to expand, and it's a great reason for us to celebrate for all of us holding high tide. And if you're looking to invest into this company, I highly recommend watching this video all the way through. If you get any value, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We are going to go over this report, the highlights, the financials, as well as what the CEO had to say at the end. So the revenue increased by 118% to 24.9 million in the fourth quarter of 2020, and by 166%, which is a new record, to 83.3 million for the year ended October 2020. Gross profit increased by 112% to 8.7 million in the fourth quarter, and by 172% to 30.8 million for the year end October, which is also a brand new record for this company. They are knocking their earnings out of the park. The adjusted EBITDA for the fourth quarter was 3.6 million and 8 million for the year end of October 2020. Geographically, in the fourth quarter of 2020, 20.6 million of revenue was earned in Canada, 4.1 million was earned in the United States, and 0.2 million internationally. For the year end, October 2020, 68.4 million of revenue was earned in Canada, 14.3 million in the United States, and 0.6 million internationally. So segment-wise, in the fourth quarter of 2020, 22.6 million of revenue was generated by retail, 22.2 million by wholesale, and an immaterial amount by corporate. For the year end October 2020, 75 million of revenue was generated by retail, 7.9 million by wholesale, and 0.5 million by corporate. And in 2019, they generated 24 million by retail. So that is a huge, massive increase. 75 million in 2020 and 24 million in 2019. In 2019, 6.6 million was generated by wholesale and 0.6 million was generated by corporate. So these are pretty incredible increases in retail and wholesale. And for all of us holding high tide, we should be very, very pleased with these results. So cash on hand as of October 31st, 2020 totaled 7.5 million. The company's cash balance has subsequently increased approximately 38 million as of today. So now we're going to go over the 2020 fourth quarter operational highlights, which are also extremely impressive. So in August 2020, the company opened Canna Cabana location in popular year-round tourist destination of Banff, Alberta. In October 2020, Meta Growth shareholders overwhelmingly approved High Tide's acquisition of Meta Growth, underscoring the strong bond to the company's brand. Over 50% of the company's brick-and-mortar revenue during the fiscal fourth quarter came from Cabana Club members. So if we look at the outlook for the company, with the transaction of Meta Growth having closed, the company has solidified its leadership position in Canada. High Tide remains focused on the Ontario market while pandemic restrictions are causing a delay in construction in much of the province. The company is encouraged by the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario's decision on February 16, 2021 to increase the pace of retail authorization it issues from 20 to 30 a week. The company expects to reach 30 open stores in the province by September 30th, 2021, the date on which the cap that any one retailer can own is set to increase from 30 to 75 stores. So they expect to have 30 open stores by the end of September, and around that time as well, the cap will have raised to 30 to 75 stores, so they will be able to continue to open new locations. So while competition is increasing in Alberta cannabis markets, the company has still been able to find pockets of areas where it believes it can profitably open new stores. With the slowdown in construction in Ontario, the company has increased the pace of build-outs in Alberta and expects several locations to be open in the province this month. The company is also optimistic regarding the recent announcement by Alberta Gaming and Liquor Commission that is considering recommending regulatory and legislative changes that will be favorable to licensed cannabis retailers. The company is also in discussions regarding potential tuck-in acquisitions of retail stores in Canada. So this company is continuing to expand. There's still so much massive growth potential for this company. If you weren't able to get in when we talked about it at 75 cents a share Canadian, I believe it is still an incredible investment opportunity and one of the hottest, most undervalued penny stocks on the market. So the company has been actively following developments in the U.S. cannabis sector, and while it appears that further liberalization regarding the federal regulatory and legislative environment is possible, our immediate strategy does not rely on regulatory change. Despite this, we remain just one transaction away from entering the bricks and mortar retail market in the U.S., one transaction away from continuing to expand into the U.S. and opening up brick and mortar shops. When federally permissible, High Tide believes it will be very well positioned to take advantage of the growing ancillary. High Tide believes it's very well positioned to take advantage of the growing ancillary and hemp-derived CBD markets and estimates its current revenue run rate in the U.S. pro forma for the smoke cartel acquisition to be over $25 million today. The company is in discussion with various parties across the federal permissible ecosystem in the U.S., which could help further expand its operations, and believes that its current financial health and application to list its shares on the NASDAQ may help accelerate its growth. So as we've talked about in previous videos, this company has applied to be on the NASDAQ, which will mean you'll be able to finally buy it on Robinhood and Webull, which of course is going to knock this share price up. All I see from this report are amazing signs for this company. Their financials are fantastic and the outlook is looking so promising. So I just wanted to end the report with the words by the CEO. His name is Raj Grover. So this is what he had to say. I know this is a lot of reading. It's tiring me out too. So despite the global slump in retail sales associated with the pandemic, and thanks to the tireless efforts of our team, we closed the year with approximately $8 million in adjusted EBITDA, making 2020 the best year in High Tide's history. We continue to run our operations tightly, ending the year off with the record levels of revenue and adjusted EBITDA. We are excited about our trajectory in the United States and continue to prioritize and look for opportunities in that market. Our integrated value chain, which includes cannabis bricks and mortar stores, e-commerce platforms, not to mention the two largest e-commerce platforms. Oh no, I lost my position. For consumption, accessories, and hemp-derived CBD products, along with manufacturing and distribution of licensed and proprietary consumption accessories, experience sizable growth on all fronts. We plan to continue the further strengthening of our chain through organic growth and strategic acquisitions, creating even more value for our shareholders. Big deep breath. Since the end of the fiscal year, we are already nearly double our size in Canada with the closing of the Meta Group acquisition. For the fiscal first quarter of 2021, we expect to report revenue in the range of 37 to 38 million. Oh man, I was so excited reading that report this morning. I do have quite a large chunk in High Tide in this company. I'm a firm believer in this company, as I know so many of you are, and I think that this company is literally just going to explode and keep growing and be one of the hottest, greatest, most fantastic cannabis companies in the entire industry, guys. So I just wanted to share that report in case you haven't caught it. It just got released last night. So it's very exciting news for all of us. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big fat like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you're new. I will be keeping you up to date with High Tide, as it is one of my favorite penny stocks. And I hope to see you in the next one. Much love, guys. Take care.